I just bought my very first cinema camera ever, and it happens to be the Canon C80. And am I excited about it after using it for a few days? Absolutely. It's amazing. I love it. It's awesome. She also is a tease because there's some things she doesn't let me see and do, and we're gonna undress her in just a moment, and I'm gonna show you some of her parts. Yes. Get ready, brace yourself. You're going to be a little jealous. It's going to be fun, but then we're going to come back right here in this. Actually, it's poorly lit right in here. I am not using any studio lights at all. I'm actually using some faint lights in the distance because my ISO is 12,800. Yes, it is the C80 looking at me right now with the 24 to 72.8 at 24 millimeters. And what's the audio? The audio is the Sennheiser MKH416 shotgun mic. It is awesome. I love it. I've been using it for the last at least 3-4 years. It's up to my production, but we're going to undress her. I'm going to show you my first impressions on that. And then I'm going to tell you some of the things she just doesn't like to put out with, and give me. And some of the things she does give me. It makes me come back for more. And will I come back for a lot more? Probably. I'm pretty easy. She knows it. But let's get to that, and then we will come back in here. All right, here is the C80, and boy, is this satisfying to buy this. I haven't even used it yet, but when you anticipate something for a long time, boy, does it just gives you that magical feeling inside when you pick it up. But then when you look at how much it cost, then that feeling subsides. But let's not think about that right now. Let's go right into unboxing. This owned professional camcorders, but not a professional cinema camera, and obviously professional cameras that are not cinema. And so here you go. These are a lot bigger than what you see with the, say, the R5 II or the R6. Oh, look at that. This is, okay. Wow, this is a tank. This is a lot different than I anticipated. I am used to DSLRs or mirrorless cameras. And this is this is huge. Now I see why there's this like nice little comfy grip right here. But first thoughts is this is probably very similar to, say, the R1 in size, except the thickness here is bigger because you got a fan. But it's probably very similar to that. And I don't know, the 1DX series probably. But what's really cool, first impressions, I love that there's multiple contacts for the screw-on plates because mine shifts a lot on my mirrorless cameras, and it'll be nice to have a big plate just on here and not shifting around. All right, we're going to come back to this in just a moment, but let's see what accessories came with it. All right, seems to be 2 boxes in the box that have accessories. All right, so we got the big box out of the way, so let's just take a look. This one's a lot lighter. Let's see what's in here. Oh, we've got a neck strap. Will I use a neck strap? I don't know, but boy, this thing is nice. It is very squishy, and it might even be better for my Canon R5 II for traveling. I don't know, but I do like the feel of it. Will I use it on the C80? Probably not. All right, what else do we got? Oh, the little mounts that go on it. Little, but it's actually a good size. So we've got like the little hand grip mount. Oh, I like the feel of this. It's very coarse. And then you got the cold shoe on top. This goes into the cold shoe right, here. So we've got that. So here's the cold shoe. Also, we'll come back to this in just a moment, but you got the hot shoe, the digital hot shoe, right here. Cold shoe, digital hot shoe. It's nice to have all those contacts, especially, is it right here? Oh yeah, we could also do a plate mounting on the side here. So I don't know if I'm going to keep this on. And then you got your contacts back there. And that seems to be the main one. So, okay, let's see what else we've got in here. Okay, and this would be the shotgun microphone mount, which I'm not really good at opening these things, which I'm thinking, oh, this is pretty good. It's nice, rubbery, tight. It should fit my MKH416 Sennheiser shotgun mic. Okay, and I'm going to assume that this heavier box is going to be batteries and such. Yep, so here is the AC charger adapter. Yeah, it's a good size battery. Yes, it is, and they're not cheap. I was looking at buying an extra one, but I'm going to wait and see how much power I get out of this. All right, here we are. It is the Canon C80, and yes, it is definitely bigger than you're going to be used to. I'll have to adjust this if I'm going to keep it on, but maybe it's cool. I think it'd be great. My wife does a lot of my behind the camera on certain shoots, so this will be nice. This LCD screen is actually pretty loose, but not like in a scary way. It's just very fluid. And so there it locks in right there. Yeah, bigger than what we're used to. Let's see here, does it go? Yeah, that works out good. And then the battery, does that just click in? There we go. And then you got a battery release right there, but awesome. It's pretty close to flush, at least where the LCD screen is. And then you've got your controls for audio. So input 1, input 2. I see they're on automatic. I'm going to switch those to manual immediately because that's exactly how I roll. I like to have full control of my audio. Ethernet right there on the back. So we've got Ethernet connectivity. And then I've never used SDI in my life, but there it is, just in case I want to use it. There's SDI. That could be handy. I'm not sure if I'm going to really use it in the near future, but it's there. And then you've got your mini XLR connectors right there and your mic. And I will tell you, coming to a cinema camera for the first time, these little rubber pieces are definitely harder and more robust than what you get. Oh, the microphone connector is cool. Than a mirrorless camera. Now, I have never owned a cinema camera ever. I had the Canon C80, which is a professional camcorder from 17 years ago. That's right. I bought that brand new 17 years ago and it did its purpose. But then soon after, DSLR started doing 1080 and the quality of that with interchangeable lenses was a lot better, especially with the 5D Mark II, but I could get better image quality out of a Canon Rebel T2i. But fast forward, I have the R5 II, I used to have the R6 II, the R6, the EOS R. I had all of those, and yet there was something missing. It was the C80, full frame C80. And yes, I'm going to do a lot more tests with this. I'm going to compare it to the 5D. We're not there right now. We're way past that. The R5 Mark II, I'm going to compare it to that when it comes to C-Log 2, because C-Log 2 on this is a lot different. And check out James Reeder's video on C80 versus R5 II, because the skin tones are a lot different. I noticed that they're more natural on the C80. We'll see how this goes right now. And yes, I am in C-Log 2 right now. And that is where the 12,800 triple base ISO, that's right, you got 800, 3200, and 12,800, which we're at right now, 12,800. And it is at its cleanest when, there's two reasons, when, one, you are actually doing it in C-Log 2 and not RAW. RAW is really, really noisy. And if you overexpose a little bit. Now, this is very underexposed, so we're going to see how this looks in post. But for 12,800, I would say this is probably equivalent to about 4,000 ISO on the R5 Mark II. So you are getting some awesome low light performance on this. So I'm just going to get my pet peeves out of the way, and it's something that I already knew when going into this, so it's not a shock, and it possibly could get fixed in a firmware update. And that is the 6K. The 6K can only be shot in RAW. Now, I get it. It's only 6K, 24 or 30 frames per second. We don't have 60 because we don't have CF Express Type B cards. We only have the SD cards in here. So I understand that. But it would be very nice if we can do that 24 and 30 not in RAW, in C-Log 2, or even in a baked-in profile. just so we can play with the 6K outside of RAW. The other issue I have with this, and I didn't realize how big of an issue it was because I haven't had to buy an SD card in quite a while because I use the CFast Express B for my R5 II, and I have plenty of SD cards out there. But this camera does need V90 to do most of the high-end features for the recording, like the 6K or even the high bit rates of the C-Log 2. So the cards out there are pretty expensive. I just spent about $800 between two 512 gigabit SD V90 cards. Yes, by SanDisk. That is ridiculously expensive because the CF Express Type B are a lot less expensive and their performance is a lot better. So yeah, I would say a huge disappointment with the C80, and I already knew it going in, so I can't be that mad at it, is that we have SD cards and we don't have CF Express Type B. Now, the other disappointment I have is I thought there was going to be a digital leveler like you get on the R5 II and the R6 II and all of those, even though it turns off when it's recording. But I thought I was going to get that because then I can calibrate and make sure that gimbals are working correctly. And even on a tripod right here, I can make sure I am level. And there is none. Sure they can update it in firmware update, but as of right now, there is none. And again, if they're going to update that and ever put a leveler option on there, then they might as well give us that 6K in C-Log 2. Yes, do it. Do it, Canon. I beg you. It'll be awesome. Just call it the Jared upgrade. Now, the other positive I already touched on is that triple base ISO. That's right. 800, 3200, 12,800. That's what I'm doing right now. The highest one that you can do. How does it look? Leave a comment below. Let me know. Does it suck? I don't think it does. I think it's pretty good. I'm impressed. At worst, it is like 6400 ISO on, say, the R5 II or the R6 II. It is pretty darn clean, and this is going to be awesome for low light, especially if you're shooting 2.8 or f4. Oh, and the other feature that's amazing with this is internal NDs. One of the biggest reasons why I went with a cinema camera like the C80 is a lot of the lenses I'm adapting may be more bulbous or not be able to put a filter on the front, or it's a pain in the butt to switch out filters all the time, and having internal NDs makes all the difference. I love it. Speaking of which, as a default, it only allows you to do ND6 at the highest, so you have to go to the extended in the menu, so it goes to 8 and 10 stops of ND, which I highly recommend. Now, the reason why it is defaulted up to 6 is because you may be getting a little bit more color shift, and that's what it says in the manual, but I haven't noticed it yet. But you might be getting some color shift when going to ND8 and ND10. But having those internal NDs is game-changing, and I don't think it's going to be normal for me to ever go back to putting in a screw top. But I will say this, a lot of people online in videos have said that the C80 has been very digital looking to them, and a lot of stuff can be pretty subjective. For me, it's been more filmic, softer, more good roll off, I guess you could say, that it looks more natural. But I think that has a lot to do with the editing of C-Log 2. Now, a lot of people are going to use a lot of presets, put them in these LUTs and do very little, and it can look digital. For me, I do my own gamma curve, and it's smooth. Oh, and last that I can think of right now, because this is a spur of the moment video that I'm doing, is battery. Yes, I come from the mirrorless land, the DSLR land, and batteries last maybe an hour and a half or so, depending on what you're using. And to have these huge batteries by Canon getting 2.5 to 3.5 hours, and I'm getting a larger one coming in that gets you about 5.5 to 6 hours of battery life. It's awesome. I don't need to mount a V-mount battery on here, which I can still, but I don't need it when you have these large Canon batteries that just power this thing and it works great. Plus, the top handle is awesome. I love it. It holds my MKH416 Sennheiser mic perfectly on there. How does it sound? Does it sound good? Awesome. Oh, and speaking of which, there is a free guide below where you can download that will show you on a budget or on a higher budget what equipment to buy if you're looking to get into real estate photography and videography. So feel free to download that below. It's a free guide for you. But that's going to sum it up for me. Leave a comment below. What would you like me to test out with this? I've got some great lenses to put on here. The 24-70 is awesome. I've got the 15-35 2.8 RF. It's going to be good. It's going to be good stuff. So if you haven't, subscribe, like, and I'll see you in the next video. But don't forget to check out this video too. You probably missed it. But if you didn't miss it, you probably want to watch it again because you forgot all about it. You've got Alzheimer's.